All right, welcome back everyone. In the previous all lectures, we have seen almost everything that Google AI Studio does and you should be aware about. We have learned a lot. We have seen practical examples of almost everything and we have learned a lot of theoretical concepts, the background, the technical know-how about how does the Google AI Studio works and how does the artificial intelligence, the generative AI, works as a whole. In this particular lecture, we will quickly review everything that we have learned. And if you have any questions, you can definitely come back to me as a message or as an email, or you can drop me a message on LinkedIn, and I will be sure to respond to you at the earliest. Now, what all did we learn, right? This is the place. It's divided into three sections. This is the playground. On the left, we have different capabilities of Google AI Studio. Towards the right, we have different setting options, and in the center, we have the actual playground where we can talk with the Gemini model, generate responses from the prompts that we give, right? So to begin with, we have the option to edit the title and the description of the prompt. Let's say we have uh, the review, and this is to review the capabilities of Google, not Google, sorry, Google AI Studio, and then I click on save. So I've given a prompt and there is a description as well, and you see under library I have the review already. Now why? Because I have already clicked on autosave. Under settings I have autosaving enabled, so as I write a prompt it gets saved in my files under my library, right? And I can look at that in the drive folder. So if I go to my drive, if I go to Google AI Studio, I will see that all of these are available. So all the everything that I have uploaded, right, in order to test a few things like the financial reports, the images, the next model that we have generated, the order details that we added, the recording that we did. So everything is available to us in the drive. Okay. So this was about saving, etc. But we have just saved, and I'll go back to my review. So again, to begin with, there are system instructions, right? Always respond in short and don't give bullets, and write in paragraphs, right? So this is kind of a system instruction I have given, and this will work to all the generative AI questions that I give and get responses. So if I now ask what is AI, it will give me responses, but now it will behave like this. It will respond to me in short, will not give me bullets, and will give me paragraphs. If I would have asked without the system instruction, it would have given me a whole long response with a lot of bullet points. So this is how system instructions work, and this is like an additional prompt that you are giving before you write your main prompt. So this is how system instructions work. You can write a name, give instructions. This is the place where you can ask questions, uh, you know, and get responses. There's an option to add things from your drive. You can upload files, you can record audio, you can turn on the camera, click a picture, and ask Gemini about it. Or you can also record an entire video and then ask Gemini what happened in that particular video. Right? You can upload an entire video and ask questions, or you can start the camera application, record a video right now, and give it to Gemini or Google AI Studio and ask, okay, what happened in this video? What is happening? What is the sequence of events that happened? And every question that you might want to ask about a video, you can do so. And then there are certain sample medias that you can use to test the power of Gemini. Great. Also, there's an option to clear chat over here. I can simply click this, continue, and the chat will be clear. But the system instructions will not go. To do so, you have to either create a new chat or you can simply delete it and the system instructions will go away for this particular uh, prompts. That is the review. So you can go to library. So this review is a chat prompt, right? And then there are different models that we have tuned and structured prompts that we have created. Great. Under the stream real time, we have seen that we can talk to Gemini, right, using the microphone. We can do like a simple conversation with how we are used to do a conversation with Siri or Alexa. You can do a similar real time conversation and get questions, get answers to the questions that you make. Then further, you can open up your webcam, start a live video and show Gemini what you're doing, and then get a real time feedback, right? So if I'm drinking water and I'm asking, okay, what am I doing now? It will respond to, okay, hey, you are drinking water, you're combing your hair, you're reading a book. You can show Gemini things on your camera and get instant responses. And then lastly is the share your screen. This is absolutely mind blowing. You share your screen and tell Gemini what you're working on. You can open up anything like Chrome browser, your Outlook, your Gmail. Uh, you can open up your Excel, your PowerPoint, and get responses. How to do lookup uh, in Excel, how to add transitions in my PowerPoint, how to create a new mail in Outlook, how to open up a new tab in my Google Chrome. You can do a lot. You can simply share your screen, get answers, right, and get feedbacks like a proper person who's training you. So that is the power of Gemini over here in Google AI Studio, right? Then there were some starter apps, right? You can upload a photo, combine 2D, 3D. So this is something really interesting. So I give certain picture and ask to give me some 2D bounding boxes where it generates a prompt by itself, and in the output it gives me certain responses, right? I can do it for different images. It generates a prompt itself and it says, okay, this is baklava, this is also baklava, so okay, this is how it works. uh, Again, you can also ask for 3D bounding boxes in 3D, not just 2D, but you can do it over here. There's a plate, there's a cup, there's food, etc. So these are some of the starting apps. There's a map explorer, video analyzer, spatial understanding, etc. Then we also learned how to tune a model, right? We created a complete structured prompt from scratch. Then we downloaded it as a CSV. We tested it, it was working fine. We downloaded it as a CSV. We came here, we imported it, and we saved it as a model and we tuned our model. And not just that, we used that model to generate responses. So we did the entire end-to-end process of entered data for tuning, creating a model, tuning that model, and using that model to generate the responses. And we also learned some technical aspects of it like epochs, learning rate, batch size, loss curve, etc. So this is how we learned how to tune a model. Under the library section, we learned that you can look at all the different files or the chat prompts, tuned models, structured prompts, etc. Over here, you can choose to play with them, delete them, go back to them and continue the conversation, look at the model, update the model and tune it again. You can do all of that over here. In the prompt gallery is kind of a template section, the current prompts that you can readily use, these kind of ideas that and the capabilities that the Gemini models are capable of. All of that you can have a look over here. We have certain API documentations that can be really helpful if you are a new beginner, and if you are really interested to know more detail about each and every aspect of AI, Gemini, and Google AI Studio. There's a developer forum. I would really recommend you to go to this developer forum, see what others are doing, get ideas, get inspirations, talk to people, respond to their queries if you have an answer, and get responses from other people if you have questions. Right under the changelog, you can look at the latest changes or the release notes. Under settings, you can go and change the theme, go for the billing, etc. And now I'll go back to the create prompt and I'll talk about a bit of settings over here. Under the compare, you can look at two different models or two different setting options for the same responses. Right, is let's say if you're looking at an old model of Gamma 2.227b and under the Gemini 2.0 Flash, if you're asking one simple prompt, right, what is AI, you will get two different responses in two different uh, sections, right? So you can understand, okay, this is an older model, this is giving me this kind of data, and then this is a faster model, and the latest model, it is giving me different kind of data. Also, you can change different settings in the same model. Suppose you want Gemini 2.0 flash, and then you have, probably I'll clear this once. Clear chat, continue. Let's say the Gemini 2.0 flash, I keep the temperature to be zero point 0.2 and the top P as well to be zero point 0.1. And I'll keep the regular settings over here. I'll increase the temperature to 1.8, top P to be 0.95. And now I will ask what came first, uh, chicken or egg, right? And then probably I can look at a response, right? So this has given me a different response, and this has given me a kind of the different response. However, the output was same. The egg has said to be came first, but different responses in different settings from the same model, right? This is something that we learned. Great. Coming back to create prompt, we learned how to use the compare option. There are options to also open in Kaggle, open in Vertex AI, right? All of that is something that you can do. Vertex AI is another platform that you can use. There is also an option to open in Kaggle, so that models of Google would come up over here. Now this is for Gamma 227B only. If you are into the Flash 2.0, those settings will not come up over here. Again, there are options to get code. You can use this code, run in the Google Colab, and get responses. This is how API works. You are now using it in the Google Colab. You can use it in any other notebooks like Jupyter. You can use it in your Visual Studio Code or any other code editor and get responses from Google Gemini's model. And that's how you build apps, right? Using the APIs, using the code. That's how you build apps. Further, we learned how to switch to different models and look at the different properties of each model. We talked about the token count. This is the input token count, how many tokens are used for content generation. And then we also have an output length, how many the maximum number of tokens you can use as a response, right? So token count is kind of a measurement of the number of words being used as a question in the question for the prompt. Not necessarily every word is one token. Around 100 tokens would mean like 60-70 words, and then you can imagine that the image would take up more tokens, a video would take up a much more token, a CSV would also take a long like a larger amount of tokens. And then we have something like a temperature, right? We learned how to use it. You can use temperature to fine tune models in Google AI Studio. This is used to get the desired level of consistency or creativity in your results, right? Lower temperatures are good for prompts that require a more deterministic response. Higher temperatures can lead to more creative results. And similar thing was kind of something in top P, which talks about the probability, right? The probability of using certain words in your responses. We have seen all of this in live examples. We also learned how to enter the structured output. We talked about code execution, right? Where it is used, how it is used. Function calling is something I'm not very familiar with. I've not touched this in this course. We also learned how to do grounding with Google search, and something really important if you are looking for something more recent, a response that gives you the latest fact and not just a random answer based on your old data. You would have to enable this Google search, ask question, and get the response, not just a response, but references and also the relevant Google search keys. Then there are certain safety settings, really important and really great. You have these safety settings where you can block the content that can be linked to something that is in the harassment, hate, uh, sexually explicit, dangerous, civic integrity, etc. Right? So there are certain levels: block none, block few, block some, and block most. Right? So if you have blocked these things, you get responses, but then there are certain limitations, right? AI thinks that okay, this can be a hate content or a harassment content, and you will not get complete responses. But if you block none, you would probably get responses filled with certain hate and harassment, if you have asked it to, it will not give you still a very bad response filled with a lot of hate and harassment, but it can if your prompt asks it to. Now we have seen again all of this with actual examples in our course. Again, stop sequence is something that if you want to truncate the response on getting a particular keyword, right, you can add it. And we have seen that okay, the generation of the response stops once it receives that particular word, and it does not include that word, right? It does not. If I ask which year it is right now, if I give stop sequence as 2025, the answer will be the current year is, and then it will stop. It will not give me 2025, but I can assume okay, 2025, because I have already given it as a stop sequence. Great. I think output length as well, top P, temperature, etc. I've all covered. You can reset this to default settings by clicking over here. You can go to your Google account, switch account from over here, sign out and sign into a different account from here. Use this menu options. You can save any prompt, let's say like this. You can go to any prompt, and if you're talking to this prompt, you can come over here. You can save another copy of it if you have made changes, and then also you can share it with a lot of other people and collaborate with the team. You can also delete the prompt right from here, or you can go to the library and choose to delete the prompt from here. Awesome. I think again I have covered all the different options, all the different capabilities, and all the three different sections of this Google AI Studio Playground. Thank you so much for joining me in this course. I really appreciate your time and your dedication, and thank you so much. I will see you in the last lecture, congratulating you for completing the course once again. And thank you. There are a lot of other interesting courses I have created on AI. Make sure that you check out. And thank you so much once again. Bye bye.